Good.
It's always a good week when you're not having to take to Twitter. It seems a little more back to normal around here, and that's a good thing.
Well, you know what, we did have an interesting week last week, and I was just proud of how everybody handled it, coaches and players, and the focus that they had, and and how we all just worked together and had a very good performance. But it's not time to relax now. It's time to try to get better, try to build off of the momentum that we created last week, and it's going to be a tough deal. I mean, Auburn looks like they're just catching their stride at the right time, or the wrong time for us, so to speak. And playing in their house is tough. Watching TV copy of some of their opponents that played at Auburn really struggled with the noise, and we got to get prepared for that. There's a lot of things we got to get prepared for. Carl Lawson's back, and he's a heck of a ball player, and gosh, they were giving up about 30 points a game without him, and they're giving up about 18 points with him. So it's only a 2-game sample, but teams they played were pretty good offensively the last couple games. So it'll be a challenge for us, and we know it.
Coach, we know about the history of this rivalry. Is it a little more intense for guys like Trey over there and Coach Gardner that you're doing here?
Oh, I would think so. I mean, anybody that's been on both sides, whether it's as a player or played at one place and coached at another, or coached at one place and then coached at the other, I think it's always a little more meaningful. But we compete not only on the field, but we compete a lot in recruiting too. And then of course, we've played them 119 times. Somehow it's 55, 55, and 8. So what I say, 119, played 118 times, and this is the 119th game. So whoever wins this one takes the lead in the series, and that's kind of hard to believe after all these years, but that's how close this thing's been.
Do you feel like this last Kentucky game was the most well-rounded you've seen your team overall?
Well, it was good. I thought everybody played well. I thought we moved the ball well offensively. We were able to, once we got the lead, keep the lead, control the clock, continue to get first downs, kept the defense off the field. Defense certainly did their part. The big sudden change when we fumbled the ball around the 20 or so, we get a stop and force a field goal. And defense basically would have had a shutout if it weren't for that ball, that field position. But the beauty of that thing is that we had talked about things like that happen in a game, and so what are we going to do about it? You can't gripe and moan and bicker. We got to bow our neck and play defense and support the O, and vice versa if the defense gives up a big play. And I just saw everybody working hard together.
You have a running back by committee kind of approach. Got a lot of talented guys back there. How do you determine who goes in? What is the deciding factor?
Right. Some of it is situation as far as down and distance. Some of it has to do with field position. Some of it has to do with just a rotation of sorts. Some of it has to do with if a guy looks fatigued at the moment. It's been by committee, but it's been pretty obvious that Sony's the lead back, and he got, 24, 25, 26 carries, whatever it was, and Keith got a little bit more than he's been getting, but we kind of were hoping to do that, and Douglas has always had his role for us as well. So again, those are some of the things that go into it when we decide who's playing.
You got the Wild Dogs, seemed very effective against Kentucky. I imagine, without giving game plan away, you'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see this earlier in the season?
Oh, I don't know. We wanted to make sure we had more ways to run the football, when you have a quarterback, whoever's playing that quarterback position, when he's a runner, you buy an extra blocker in there. But we were running the ball pretty good all year long. I mean, it was the last 2 games that we, after Chubb got hurt, that we weren't running it for at least 200 and some yards a game. So we were actually running the ball pretty good without it. But once we lost Chubb, we felt like we needed a little bit something else to add to the run game.
Will we see a different guy back there possibly than Terry or Sony?
I doubt it. Those guys are the best candidates right now. I don't know who it would be.
Got time for one more?
Coach,
if you
when you
lose on Saturday, do you think the criticisms will start back again?
Why'd I ask you to give a question? You know, if you don't win, there's always going to be criticism in the game of football. When you win, you get criticized. So, but again, that's part of leadership. That's part of, you know, being part of a game that so many people care about and it's so public. You know, everybody sees it. I mean, millions of people see it, and millions of people have opinions on it. You know, so it's part of the reason why college football is so fun is because the passion of the people. But it's also what makes it tough is because when things don't go well, somebody wants to let you know about it.